Hi everyone, it's Laurie. I'm back again for another video in Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot series, and today I'm going to be doing days 22 and 23. Day 22 is Tarot and Oracle for personal use only. I've lost a little nail sticker there. And on day 23, storage bags, boxes, and cloths. Okay, let's get to it. So I have quite a few that I kind of consider for personal use only. Sorry about that. Okay. The first one that I'm currently only using really for myself or for my family is the Tarot of the Sheep. And I think the main reason is that I just don't feel like I've worked with it enough yet to really get a good intuitive feel for it. And I would like to have more of that instantaneous intuitive connection with each individual card before I start reading for other people. I don't read for people professionally. I am taking a course, and as part of the course I read for people for free on a platform on the internet to get practice in delivering, you know, professional, coherent, hopefully useful tarot card readings. And so I have just a handful of decks that I use for those readings. They're not really clients. They're not paying me. I guess, you know, I kind of call them querents. And I would, you know, I think I would like to use this deck to read for people because I really love the deck. And it's just, the energy, the vibe is just absolutely fantastic. I've been doing my daily draws from this. In fact, this was my daily draw today. It is the Warrior King, who's actually the King of Wands. And this little stand is just a very inexpensive art easel. I think I paid 99 cents for it. I got two of them. My daughter, my youngest daughter, painted that one, Gracie, painted that one black for me because it looks very pretty with things on it. She has one that she splatter painted all different colors. I'll have to show that at some point. Oh, okay. So not very long ago, I bought this set. Call It Bear and Read, the map book and the enchanted map. I actually, can you see these? I'm so sorry. I got these used on Amazon. I think this was one of those 1-cent books, and then you paid $3.99 for the shipping, so it was $4. And then I got these used as well, but they were in a complete set, and they were wrapped, I think, with a cellophane band. I think they had like the belly band around it. And I had no intention of using these for other people, to read for other people, because this just seemed like a deck that would be very well suited for doing inner work, for doing therapy, healing, psychological healing sort of work on myself. And I got this deck after watching Katie Flowers' really fantastic video on it. Did I edge this? You know what? I think I may have edged this in possibly linen from Jim Holt's Distressed Ink stamp pads. I think I did. I'm really on a modifying decks kick right now, but look, doesn't it look pretty that way? It looks super pretty. And so after I edged it and I spent some time with it, and I have not worked through the book yet, but I did a bit of experimenting and a few draws, and this is a nice oracle deck. I mean, it's nice. It's the photographs, well, whatever you call them, they're sort of photo collages, are beautiful, but they're also not all touchy-feely, happy. Some of them are quite, I mean, they're not dark, but some of them, One Ring Circus, oh goodness. Some of them can be the Ghostlands. You see, goblins. They can be good for a bit of shadow work, and so I feel like they are cleaning house. I feel like these could be good oracles to be used alongside of the, maybe like the Centennial, to draw, you know, a clarifying oracle to kind of help guide the reading. You know, so I haven't done that yet. My intention was to use these just for myself, but I have a feeling I could potentially use these for other people, but we'll see, because I haven't used it at all. But I bought this tarot transformation with a similar intention as I did with the Call It Bear and Read, which was to use this deck as Has the camera moved? Suddenly, I think I may have moved the camera. Everything's out of shot. A Tarot of Transformation for my own kind of healing, inner work. Move back there, Warrior King. Thank you. And I haven't really had a chance to work with this deck at all. It's a beautiful deck. I think it's going to be fantastic. I actually have almost every book that Jasmine Lee Corey has written on healing. And they're just from the standard, you know, modern psychological. They're mostly for victims of abuse, child abuse, people dealing with PTSD and things like that. Is the soul cards, and I'm not going to take them out of the package. I did buy them used. They're all here. This is soul cards number 1, and I took them out of the package and I looked through them. Well, I started looking through them and they were a little bit much for me, so I put them back in the box, and they're in the back of my shelf for someday. That I'm not currently using for other people are Pagan Otherworlds and the Earthbound Oracle. The reason I'm not using Pagan Otherworlds for reading for other people is mainly because I don't feel like I've worked enough with it, particularly on the pip cards, to really feel like I've got an instant connection. I mean, kind of similar to what I said with the Tarot of the She, and I like to be feel a little bit more fluent in the deck before I read for other people, so I haven't been reading for anybody other than myself. The Earthbound Oracle, I got to kind of go along with my Pagan Otherworlds, and this is definitely going to take some work. The Earthbound Oracle, I started a little book for myself where I'm going through and sort of writing notes and things that I'm getting from these oracle cards, because it doesn't have a little white book to go with it, so I'm sort of creating my own as I go along. I did edge this. It was also a Tim Holtz, I think it might be called something like tobacco or leather. Can you see? I mean, it is like completely perfect. It's not black. It's that dark brown of the cards. Day 23 is storage boxes, bags, and cloths. Okay, so my very favorite kind of storage box would be like this one, or sorry, this one or this one. I wish everybody did these. Thumb holes. You know, the box to fit the tarot. Why doesn't everybody do these? It's so perfect. Even when I've chopped that and I've chopped this one, they still fit fine. I wish everybody, oh gosh, do I wish every single tarot maker did that. The map was the same way. So, for the ones that haven't, I'll talk about this next. Okay, this just happens to be a box that I got that contained note cards in it for writing, you know, handwriting snail mail. It's from Paper Chase. Someone gave it to me as a gift, and then after I, you know, used the note cards, I just kept the box because I keep everything. I keep jars, boxes, and so I keep in here my Pagan Otherworlds and my Earthbound Oracle because it feels really special. This is the only box of its kind that I have. So one of the things that I discovered, and I may be really late to the party on this, I don't know, is that iPhone 5 boxes, you know, American iPhones, is there a difference between iPhones in America or the rest of the world? I can't imagine that there would be, right? Because they're all made in China, so everybody gets the same iPhone? I don't know. But anyway, so this is the box for my iPhone 5S, and it fits tarot cards like a dream, like it was meant to. So this is my larger size Centennial of the Smithwaite, and I did edge this in linen, but it was just a very quick pass around just to sort of make it look a bit aged. And I did kind of take some of the other colors on my fingers and kind of smudge it up to just kind of give it a little bit of that aged look, which I love. I love these cards. This is one of my favorite decks in the whole world. So I wanted it, so I used this box. This is my iPhone 5 box. Once you yank the piece that's in here, it's got like an insert in here, and you have to yank it out. And my son used some pliers, and he kind of grabbed and then went, you know, pull. He pulled really hard. And the only thing it left is some sticky bits in here. And so I stuck that Apple sticker that they gave me. I don't know if you're supposed to put it in your car or what. I just stuck it over there, over the sticky part. And then for the top, it did not have thumb holes. See how this has, I don't know if you can see. You see how that has thumb holes? So the iPhone boxes don't have thumb holes. And so my husband took a box cutter and measured, I think like maybe an American penny or an American dime, maybe. He just kind of drew around it on either side and then just used a box cutter to cut that out, which works well enough. I slapped a bit of white, just white acrylic paint over the logos and things that were on the box. Originally they said iPhone or whatever. And then I cut out stuff from the internet. This I photocopied. These things I cut out from the internet. I made this on my computer and printed it off. And then I used Mod Podge. Mod Podge is, I don't know what, that's the brand name. I don't know what the generic name is. It's like a papier-mâché sort of solution. It comes in a jar. We actually have about a half gallon. I'm not kidding. It's like, it's huge. We have, I think, maybe like 3 pounds or 4 pounds of this Mod Podge stuff because my daughters are super crafty. And so you paint some Mod Podge and then you stick your things on and then you paint over them just with a sponge or paint brush, and it paints on white, and then you let it dry, and then you put on 3 or 4 coats until it becomes really nice and smooth. And so I did that with 2 iPhone cases that we happen to have here because we have 2 iPhones in the house. This one, and then I did this one for my Tarot of the Magical Forest because my husband gave me this tarot deck for Christmas, and I just really haven't bonded with it yet, and I really want to bond with it because he gave it to me, you know, but I'm just really not bonding with it. So I thought maybe, you know, putting it in a box that I made very lovingly would kind of start the bonding process. Now, I didn't have a sticker for the bottom, so I put in a piece of note card that I just cut to fit. This is the kind of note card that you would take notes on. You know, they're about that big. I just cut it and slapped it down there to cover up the sticky, so no sticky could get on my cards. And this I used I made photocopies of some of the photography and then some other things I found on the internet. And then I discovered that was it. We ran out of iPhone boxes in our house. We're behind the times, I guess. And so then I discovered that on eBay you can actually order iPhone boxes, just the box, nothing in it, for just like a couple of bucks, free shipping. I got mine from California. If you're in America, super cheap. Can you see that? iPhone 5. That's what I ordered. And these were black, which was, you know, fine. So I'm keep my Dark Goddess Tarot in here. Again, I had to put a piece of cardstock down so they didn't stick. I mean, it's not the perfect inside of a box, but it fits these cards really well. And on here, once again, I did some photocopies. I made that on the computer, printed it off. I didn't bother painting over these because I just didn't care. My husband also cut the thumb holes for me. And then I did one more for my Tarot of the Sweet Twilight. And this, I just put some really fun vintage fortune-telling things on. Oh, there's a chariot that I cut off, you know, that I just got off the internet and printed. This one, the Mod Podge, kind of didn't. Can you see how it's a little bit lumpy and discolored there? It kind of didn't stick super well, and then I tried to glue it, but good enough. And on this one, I think I just stuck a little bitty Post-it in there to cover up the sticky part. That was super easy. So that's a neat way to get boxes if you don't have boxes, but they pretty much only fit sort of your standard size tarot card, like the, you know, the Smith-Waite. Otherwise, I use, for other weird size decks, I just use these Organza bags. I get them from Etsy from a nice woman who I think is in Maryland, and I don't remember her name, but she sells like, you know, 15, a set of 15 assorted colors. And I like it because like this is my I Am Power deck, and it has the bracelet that I got with the deck. It's a rose quartz bracelet, which I keep in here because I don't generally wear stones. And it's pink, and I keep it in a pink bag. And this is the Divine Legacy deck. which I keep in a blue bag. I do use this for reading for some of my querents on the course that I'm taking. Now, as for cloths, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this. What I actually use to take photos on, and what I use to shoot these videos, this is actually just a surface. It's not a table. It's a piece of wood that my husband, I'm going to move the cameras and see if we can get it. Okay, so it looks like a tabletop. I'm going to see if I can move the camera. There we go. It looks like a tabletop, but it's not. It's a piece of wood, and let's see if I can get back to where I was. Okay, it's a piece of wood. My husband cut these grooves in it with I think it might have been a Dremel. I'm not sure. And then he stained it for me, and it's actually just a piece of wood. I mean, I can lift it up. It's a tabletop. It's almost like a tray, and it's got felt underneath. And I use it because when I'm doing spreads and I want to take a picture of it, that way I can carry it to anywhere in the house that has good lighting, and I'm not limited to where I have to do photography for these spreads that I send to people. I can kind of do it wherever the lighting is, because lighting's awful today. And then for Christmas, my daughter bought me from Etsy, my older daughter, bought me 2 hand-dyed silk scarves. This one is all pinks and mauves, and I think they're 36 by 36. And if you wanted to look for them, you would look for Waldorf Play Silks, W-A-L-D-O-R-F, Waldorf, like the Waldorf school. We did Waldorf homeschooling, so my daughter was really familiar with these. This is another one. There's 2 different ones. And it's got some kind of purpley here. It's probably not coming out very well. Purples and a lot of peacock colors, blues and greens. And these are really pretty. And so, yeah, I don't use these a lot to do readings on because they're just a little bit busy. I keep them on one of these pants hangers. Just a cheap one from, the store. And then I hang it up in the closet that way, and it doesn't get wrinkled. But I haven't really used these too much for readings because they're kind of busy. I mean, I love that she gave them to me because I just think it's really sweet, and I might end up wearing these. Cloths. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. If there's anything that I need to link to, I don't think there was, but if there is, please let me know and I'll put it in the link below. Thank you for watching again. Bye-bye.